All Things Mavs.
What's up, Mavs fans? Welcome into today's episode of All Things Mavs. And today, I'm going to be breaking down some NBA mock drafts that are focused on the Dallas Mavericks and what they would do with that 18th overall pick. Now, let's look a little bit more specifically at the Mavs in particular. They do have two pretty good draft picks this year, actually. The number 18th overall pick and the Golden State Warriors second-round pick at 31 overall. There have been some rumors swirling already that the Mavs will look to trade that first-round pick, as they so often do. And remember, the draft is scheduled for November 18th, although anything could change at this point. Now, listen, the Mavs' history of drafting is not incredible. When you look at their last 5 first-round picks, of course they got Luka Doncic, but remember, they had to trade for him. They didn't just straight-up draft him. In 2017, they got Dennis Smith Jr., and at the time, everyone loved the deal. Now he is a complete bust in New York. In 2015, they took Justin Anderson out of UVA. Didn't turn out to be anything. Shane Larkin in 2013 drafted over Giannis Antetokounmpo, and of course, Jared Cunningham in 2012, the kid out of Oregon State that could jump really high, but that was really all he could do. So we're hoping for some better luck in this year's draft with that 18th overall pick. And let's say you guys get to play the role of Donnie Nelson and Mark Cuban. You're in the draft room. You get to make the decisions. Who do you want the Mavs to draft? I know you have a favorite prospect in mind, so let me know who that is in the comments section below. You can be as crazy as you want. If you want to say Anthony Edwards, fine, say it. But just know he's probably not going to be available at number 18. Get yourself one of those NBA face masks, Dallas Mavericks themed face masks in particular at chatsports.com/Mavs. See that guy wearing it right there? That's actually Denny Avdia, a future NBA draft prospect. Hope you know that. But if you want to get one like him, or maybe you want to get 2 packs of 3 or packs of 4, whatever you want, they're all available over at Fanatics. When you use that special link, chatsports.com/Mavs mask, go get yours today and go rep the Dallas Mavericks. Now let's get into these mock drafts and who they have the Mavs taking at 18 overall. I want to start with NBC Sports and who their latest mock draft has the Mavs taking with Aaron Nesmith out of Vanderbilt. This has actually been a very popular name among Mavs fans on social media, and I do like this kid a lot. He is one of, if not the best, pure shooter in the NBA draft. He's a smart defender, but his problem is he doesn't move very well, so that limits him from being a great defender. And with that lack of athleticism, he doesn't finish that well at the rim. Now, in limited time in Vanderbilt in 2019-2020, when he was a sophomore, second year at Vanderbilt, he scored 23 points per game, pulled down 4.9 rebounds, didn't really pass the ball all that well, but that three-point percentage is no joke, folks. 52.2% from 3. And when you can shoot like that, you absolutely have a spot in the NBA, but especially with a team like the Dallas Mavericks, who don't have that many great three-point shooters surrounding guys like Luka Doncic and Kristaps Porzingis. Now, obviously, KP should be a better three-point shooter than he was this past year, and that will jump up. But right now, your top 5 shooters, Seth Curry, of course, always. He's one of, if not the best three-point shooter in the NBA. Courtney Lee, who barely played this year. Tim Hardaway Jr., who has turned out to be reliable, but not so much in the playoffs. DeLon Wright didn't take that many threes, so when he did make them, shoot them, I guess he made them, but didn't take enough. And same thing with J.J. Barea. So now you turn your attention to the draft, where you can pick up a young guy that already has proven that he can shoot the ball lights out in college. And if he can do it in college, you got to think that that's going to translate well to the NBA. Again, Aaron Nesmith had some limited time at Vanderbilt in his sophomore season, in his second year over there, but when he played, he proved himself as a scorer, and he proved himself really all around as a pretty good rebounder as well from the forward position. Now, the Mavs lack depth at the wing positions, and Aaron Nesmith could definitely be a help in that area, and if he's available, I wouldn't be surprised to see him on the Mavs. However, I think I'd rather have a better athlete and a better defender than what Aaron Nesmith brings you. Now, let me ask you guys this special question, because it's probably the most important thing right now. Have you subscribed to All Things Mavs? If you have, you get to do something special. You get to scroll down to the comments section and type MFFL to let me know you have subscribed. I haven't asked you guys this question in a long time, but every time I do, I am overwhelmed with the amount of MFFLs I see in the comment section. So go ahead and scroll down. Let your voice be heard. And if you haven't subscribed, that's okay. We're not going to hold it against you. Just hit that big red button and then type MFFL in the comment section below. Now let's break down a DFW native, went to Little Elm High School, R.J. Hampton. Bleacher Report has the Mavs taking RJ at number 18. And if you're from the DFW area, you're probably very familiar with this kid and watched a lot of him in high school. But things have changed for RJ Hampton since high school. He went over to the NBL, he decided not to play in college, and things really started to change. He only averaged 8.8 points per game, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, didn't shoot the ball well at all at 29%, and then he got hurt when he was over in the NBL, so he shut it down. He said, hey, I'm done. This was my 1 year here. I want to go back to Dallas and start training. And if you guys hang out over at the Prestonwood Gym, he's always playing over there, so you guys can go catch a glimpse of his pre-draft workouts there. But here's one thing that I do like about RJ Hampton. The dude is a playmaker. The dude makes things happen with his handles and with his passing ability, and the Mavs don't have a lot of those right now. Luka, obviously one of the best playmakers in the NBA. But they also have, their next best playmaker is probably Jalen Brunson, who's coming off a torn labrum. Trey Burke, who's a free agent. Seth Curry, who he's good at creating his own shot, not so much for others. And then I have him last on the list just because he's kind of a playmaker, JJ Barea, but he's also a free agent. Now, let's turn our attention to high school RJ Hampton. When this kid, coming out of high school, Texas men's basketball player of the year, was projected to be the #1 overall pick in the 2020 draft. Well, that's clearly not going to happen. But if you get high school RJ Hampton, 32 points per game, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, and over 2,000 points in high school, you're going to get a very special player. Here's my problem with RJ Hampton. The reason I actually don't like him for the Mavs, he's too skinny. He doesn't have a reliable jump shot, and he's not a good defender. The Mavs need a good jump shooter, and they need a good defender, neither of which RJ Hampton is. Now, we'll see what he turns out to be and how he shapes his body over this offseason, but right now, it's just too much of a project for me to take RJ Hampton at 18 and be comfortable with it. But maybe you disagree, and I know a lot of you will, because a lot of you guys are basing this decision off YouTube highlights and where you can find him on Max Preps or Ball is Life when he's dunking all over high school defenders. Hey, word of advice, the NBL, it ain't high school. What RJ Hampton should have done is played college basketball, raised his draft stock, and tried to stay healthy. But would you draft him if he's available? Y for yes or in for no? I'm going to type my in for no. I'd rather go with a better defender or a better shooter. And if we're talking good shooters, got to go to Tyrell Terry out of Stanford. A lot of you guys probably haven't heard this name because, in all honesty, he hasn't really been hot on draft boards for the Dallas Mavericks. Now, NBA DraftNet, who I usually don't look at that often for mock drafts, but I found this interesting, so I wanted to talk about it. He is an undersized guard, and he can score in bunches. He has limitless Steph Curry range, but he is very, very small, or at least he was in college. I'll talk more about that here in a minute. But at Stanford, he put up 15 points per game. He dished out the ball well at 3.2 assists, better rebounder than you would think at 4.5, and his three-point percentage, 40.8% from three, and he was taking them from NBA range. It wasn't like he was towing that college three-point line. He was taking them from NBA range, and one reason that I think he's going to shoot up draft boards, he's put on a lot of weight, and he has grown 2 inches since the end of his freshman year at Stanford. This is from Jonathan Wasserman, obviously an NBA draft guru, says, I'm hearing Tyrell Terry has added 20 pounds since the season. Also measuring in at 6'3" and 1/4. Could be a big jumper from the combine. What's his info is released to teams. And you know what? In all honesty, if he's grown that much and he's added that much muscle, I think this guy's going to be closer to a lottery pick than the 18th overall pick. Now, again, the point guard position, a bit of a question mark for the Mavs with guys like Trey Burke and JJ Barea both being free agents. And if you want a guy that's going to play defense, you probably aren't going to take Tyrell Terry. But if Trey Burke's gone and JJ Barea's gone, I wouldn't mind taking a chance on this kid out of Stanford. Now I'm going to ask you guys this question. You guys get to play, again, the Donnie Nelson, Mark Cuban role. Which position should the Mavs look to draft this year? G for guard, W for wing, or a B for big? I mean, you can make the argument for all three, right? You can make the argument that you need a big man that can rebound. You can make the argument that you need a wing that plays defense. You can make an argument that you need a guard that can play that playmaker position like Tyrell Terry. But if you do type your G for guard here, I think one of the best guards available, potentially at 18, is Tyrese Maxey out of Kentucky. This kid is an incredible defender, another, like RJ Hampton, DFW native kid. He is a gritty defender, which we know the Mavs lack at the guard position. He did have a bit of an up-and-down year, but ever since high school, he's just been a natural scorer. The only thing he's not going to do as a point guard is pass the ball all that well. In his 1 year at Kentucky, he only averaged 2.9 assists per game. He didn't shoot the ball all that well at 31%, but if you're comparing him to, let's say, a Tyrell Terry out of Stanford, he's going to give you more defense. He's going to finish at the rim better, and he's going to be more NBA ready than Tyrell Terry is right now. You look at that guard situation that I just mentioned a second ago, and of course you have Luka Doncic probably locked up for the next, 25 plus years. And then Jalen Brunson, you've got him at least for the next 4 years, and I still love Brunson. I think Brunson is definitely going to be a core piece of what the Mavs have going on right now. But after that, you just signed DeLon Wright, and I'll tell you what, if you want a DeLon Wright, what you expected DeLon Wright to be, Tyrese Maxey could probably be that. Trey Burke's a free agent, and J.J. Bray is a free agent. If somebody offers Trey Burke more than he's worth, or somebody, decides we'll pay J.J. Barea, or J.J. Barea wants more than a minimum contract, I say you go ahead and draft a point guard. You draft a guy that can play off the bench right away for you. And if Tyrese Maxey is available at 18, because on my big board, I have him up at 14. If he's there at 18, I don't care who else is there. I'm taking Tyrese Maxey. I think he would be a perfect fit off the bench for this Mavs team. He gives you defense. He gets to the rim better than anybody on the Mavs right now, but not named Luka Doncic. I say you take a chance on him and see what you can get. Now, I did talk about 4 different guys today. I talked about Aaron Nesmith out of Vanderbilt, talked about Tyrell Terry out of Stanford, RJ Hampton from the NBL, and Tyrese Maxey from Kentucky. Let's assume all 4 of those guys are available at 18. Which one are you picking? Just type their initials down in the comment section. And in all honesty, I think this is an easy choice for me. I'll be typing my TM for Tyrese Maxey.